Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Associate Professor T.S. Dr. Siti Hajah Halili from the Department of Curriculum and Instructional Technology, University of Malaya. I am representing my other two co-authors for this paper, Associate Professor Dr. Nur Azah binti Hamzah, and she is from the Department of Biomedical Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, and also Encik Abdul Aziz Rashid, and he is the officer at Museum of Asian Arts, University of Malaya. Today, I will share with all of you the topic of needs analysis to design a flipped experiential interactive museum learning activity. And now, I will share my screen with all of you. So this is the title of my sharing session. I will start by giving you the introductions about my research objective, methodology, findings, discussion and conclusion. This is the introduction. In a museum, visitors learn about history and culture, and children constitute up a good portion of the museum audience. The tendency is to design museum exhibitions to attract and construct a memorable learning experience, moving away from learning about something and toward learning for someone places the learners at the center of the learning experience design, while maintaining the theme of content as the learning subject in mind. And according to Tang and Hennigan, learning must be made entertaining through model creation which poses problems in merging subject pedagogy, love and attention capture with strategic algorithm and software savviness. According to Hidayat et al. In 2015, there is a need to construct curriculum development based on digital material in museum flipped experiential learning activities that are consistent with contemporary educational trends. By conducting a need analysis, the researcher obtains a general understanding of what has been accomplished in this learning scenario as well as what the learners want and need in the future. It aids in the design of assessments, the compilation of resources, the design of instructional activities, the evaluation of strategies, and the re-evaluation of the precisions and correctness of the original requirements analysis for future design. Next, I will share with all of you regarding the research objective. As a result, the purpose of this research is to describe a comprehensive needs analysis process that will employed in the integration of digital content in museum flipped experiential learning activities. The research question for this study and the research objective is to determine the suitability elements needed in designing flipped experiential learning activities based on the needs analysis process. What is the suitability elements needed in designing flipped experiential learning activities based on the need analysis process? This study is based on Hutchison's and Waters' needs analysis methodology in 1987. The model echoes the apparent questions such as who are the learners? How do the learners learn? What sources are available? Where do they learn? And lastly, when will they learn? This needs analysis model is essential for assisting with the improvisations of the primary study. Methodology. This study used qualitative research. Qualitative research is frequently used to collect non-numerical and in-depth insights about a certain paradigm. The validity and reliability of each instrument and data, particularly interviews, are central to the issues of qualitative research. The need analysis conducted in this study is focused on understanding the meaning that participants have created, how participants make sense of their environments, and how participants characterize their experience in their worlds. In this situation, Validity and reliability are two important factors to consider while assessing the instrument used in qualitative research. Validity is an important criteria for assessing the quality and acceptability of research to assure the truth of a study or how much it can be believed. The initial phase of program design is needs analysis, which provides validity and relevance for all subsequent design efforts. From the reliability standpoint, it stresses that the dependability and consistency of the data, which is devoid of bias in measuring the concepts that are meant to be measured. Reliability also refers to consistent outcomes and repeatable procedures that provide the same result. The semi-structured interview was utilized by the researcher to obtain data. Interviews, according to Miriam in 2009, are required to allow researchers to comprehend a certain phenomenon from a person's perspective. The researcher opted semi-structured interview because it will allow us to cover all the issues concerning this study, and at the same time it also allows to interviews and provide more information according to the controlled conversation direction, so that the participants should be the key informants that represent a community and provide rich information. In this study, a purposive sampling approach was utilized. This approach is appropriate for utilization since Patton 2015 stated that it may help in identifying the requirements based on their experience. And according to Salva in 2012 stated that the participants in need analysis research should be key informants capable of representing a community and providing risk information. And as a result, the participants in the need analysis are chosen at random from a group of 3 academics from a public institutions. The most essential stage is to choose a suitable panel of experts, since it impacts the quality of the study's result. According to Berliner in 2004, professors with more than 5 years of experience are considered experts since they have persistent experience teaching and managing. And Akbari Yanzam-Mert in 2014 defined an expert in the field of education as someone who has more than 5 years of particular expertise. Several criteria were stated for the expert panel selection, including professors or senior lecturers involved in numerous academic disciplines as researchers or lecturers with more than 10 years of professional experience involving technology and communication. Creswell in 2003 proposed that researchers acquire expert validation to validate the elements or questions in the instrument of study. For instrument validation in this work, 3 experts from academic disciplines were recruited. According to Dimopoulos and Prentice in 2003, the instrument's validity requires a minimum of 3 experts, and as a result, before the instrument is delivered to the lecturers, the panel of experts will assess its face validity. Participants were requested to participate in a 45-minute online interview using the Google Meet platform, and duration depends on time pace, the semi-structured interviews, and so forth. And in addition, thematic analysis was used to identify, analyze, and report on patterns or themes in the data. So next, findings. The interview findings revealed that participants responded positively to the requirement to integrate digital information for the museum's flipped experiential learning activity. According to the participants' agreement, the majority of the participants have positive perceptions about the need for students to engage in museum flipped experiential learning activities utilizing digital content. In this study, the researcher categorized raw data from participants' perceptions into specific themes. And the themes are the overall themes that are based on the outcomes of the interviews. It's now easier for the researcher to categorize it into themes for study. And there are 6 themes emerged during the interview process in terms of the needs to explore. First, aspect on analysis, requirement and module content. Second, module objective. Third, selection, media and material aspect. Fourth, utilize media and material aspect. Fifth, require learner participations in terms of fleet activities aspect. And the last one, sixth, evaluate and revise aspect. So last part is the discussions and conclusion. From the findings of the study in the analysis conduct, it provides a clear instructions on how to identify the suitability elements needed in designing fleet experiential learning activities based on the need analysis process. It will also provide a comprehensive fleet experiential learning experience. They are interrelated with each other in assisting pupils in achieving the learning activity based on digital content. Based on interview analysis, participants were satisfied with the instrument which covered all elements of the digital content for the museum flipped learning activity. As a result, the change or refinement made to the instrument solely in terms of language has demonstrated that the instrument is valid and trustworthy for use in the actual research. And it is intended that this work will serve as a resource for other researchers who may conduct a need analysis context in a qualitative research study. Future research should also venture into the long-term effects which the use of digital content, especially the artifacts and heritage when designing the module based on digital content in a flipped experiential learning activity. This article also will assist other researchers in adapting their work to the development of digital content in museum flipped experiential learning activities. As for the acknowledgements, we would like to acknowledge the financial support provided by the IRRG grant, IRRG G008A19SAH. And these are the references. And thank you so much for your attention.